Hi you all, it's Jerusha. Today is Sunday, August 30th, 2017. Coming to you today because I have a little bit of a, I don't want to say philosophical, that sounds so, I tune out almost as soon as I hear the word, but so I have kind of a question in my mind, and I'm not sure how this is going to come out because I want to make it like okay for people that have a short attention span. So I'm gonna start here with this. Okay, so I got some flack in my personal life from some people, some persons, about the video that I did recently called How has being on social media affected me? Did I out my bully? Well, I took it to my therapy office and my therapist and discussed it because someone close to me accused me of being abusive and controlling by making this video. Now, they told me that they had not watched the video, they just saw the title and the description underneath. And I was like, wow, if you didn't mean a lot to me, I would still be confused by this. So I spoke about it to my therapist. And we talked about the definition of controlling. And this is what she said. She said that the definition of abuse is control plus harm. So did I harm people by making the video? Did I make people, did I say it in a way that people would know who I was talking about? I don't think so. My answer to that. So I was, this is ridiculous. This is like how, okay, I hate what ifs. I hate that because what ifs are lovely, but it's not reality. It's not practical. It's kind of like, what if? What if people were like this? What if the world were like this? The reason I hate it is because it's not reality, and I don't like talking about things when they're not the way things are. However, in this situation, I will, because what if? My life is different from a lot of people's lives, and my life is different from some of you guys' lives, and my life could be different as well, like depending on who I knew, the people in my close inner circle. So that's why I think that the what if here is relevant, and that's why I'm actually talking about it. So what if I lived in a world, or the people I knew that were close to me, that I cared about, who gave me feedback sometimes, what if they, and also their perception of others, was that I could share things in social media and it wouldn't mean everything. It wouldn't be like I am, for instance, what's the difference between privacy and silence? Like how do we measure those? Privacy, me violating people's privacy in my life by talking about them, even like when I would say like the relationship I have with them, like what their relationship, not just a friend, but like what kind of friend, what, are they my mother, father, or, boyfriend, whatever, like that kind of thing. But how do you take it? I think that when I was discussing this situation about whether I was abusive or controlling at all in my video that I made, that I just told you the name of, she was going through it with me, and I realized that there's quite a negative connotation and view by people in our society about social media, people that are on social media or doing things on social media, not just YouTube, but also just anything being aired or spoken about on social media. There's a real negative slant to it. Like you just don't even have to know what the person did or said on it. My therapist, it was coming across to me that she had the same thing that a lot of people have, which is, don't say anything on social media, and it was just kind of a negative like attribution to it. And I know this, I've heard it before. I told you before, like my attorney back in like November or something said, just don't say anything on social media. Just don't say anything. It's just going to piss the judge off that you said anything on social media at all. Anything. Privacy, yes, we all value privacy in the United States of America. I mean, we value privacy. We also value freedom of speech. Also, right to bear arms. We all have different definitions of what that means. And then freedom of speech and privacy. Freedom of speech and privacy. Interesting. You could debate it. You could debate it, and probably there are the legal definitions, like mentioning people's names or saying things that are true versus not, or making people look bad when, who knows. I'm not a lawyer. Thank goodness, by the way, because a little tangent here. In 5th grade or 6th grade, when I was answering a question to somebody about what do I want to do when I grow up? What do I want to be when I grow up? Well, granted, I had very minimal ideas of careers when I grew up. For one, my dad was a farmer, self-employed. My mom was a CNA, certified nurse's assistant in a nursing home. And then there were teachers. I knew that you could be that, male or female. You could be a teacher. We didn't really think about politicians. What else could you be? Teacher. Teachers were big if you had some intelligence in my little tiny world of family members. So I said I wanted to either be a writer, a psychiatrist. Didn't know the difference between psychiatrists and psychologists. So a writer, a psychiatrist, you could be a doctor, also you could be a minister, pastor. Yeah, so the things that I wanted to be that I listed were, in 5th or 6th grade, were a writer or a psychiatrist. That's what I remember. Did not really want to be a nurse, but I kind of might have mentioned that. You could be a nurse, okay? My mom wasn't a nurse. She was a nurse's assistant. So, that's what I said. Why did I bring this up? Because lawyer is in there. Lawyer or... No, that's right. I didn't just mention lawyer. Well, lawyer was the third one, okay? So I could be I said to somebody or something on some form, I said I wanted to either be a lawyer or a writer or a psychiatrist. I think that I kind of ranked lawyer kind of high up there. I know, now that I know lawyers, now that I know, especially family law lawyers, which I thought was kind of along the same lines of niceness that a psychiatrist or psychologist would be. Oh my goodness, no. Not in my experience. Family law attorneys, I guess not to slander anyone, but I've had bad experiences with family law attorneys. They are not very nice, and they're not very, you would think they've got a higher calling of getting the best outcomes for families, including children and mothers and fathers as well. Families. Family law attorney. That's not my experience, sorry. I've got some weird thing with my eye here, so I'm going to tell you that. I don't know what it is, but it's not pink eye. I think that I was trying to get my contact out, thinking I was, it was late at night. I was trying to get my contact out, and I didn't realize it was actually already out. So, yeah, sorry to say that, because some people are like, eye, people have eye phobia stuff. Totally get it, totally get it. It's just that I wear contacts, so I had to get over my eye phobia a while ago. But don't say any weird, stuff to do with needles, because I hate needles, and I hate thinking about that stuff. Don't even combine it with any of the other things I just said. So why do I even want to share? Why do I think that it's important to defend this? Why am I talking about it? Because I also wanted to be an artist later on. Once I found out I was sort of good at it-ish. I mean, I'm not great technical. When it comes to drawing, I'm not that great when I draw things. But as an illustrator, for instance, I would just not be good. I'm not patient enough to make things look like what they're supposed to be. But I do have thoughts about what I want them to be. So Well, so when I do social media, for me, it's about communication, it's about art, it's about being kind of a memoir in a way, inspiring to people, also to validate the human experience, parts of the human experience. And so that's why the privacy versus silence thing is so important to me. Privacy versus silence. Like, okay, privacy for people and myself, actually, but people who know me and who are interacting with me and sometimes may cross paths with me, and so I may speak about them and my experiences with them here on social media. But also, I get a lot of flack for that, talking about anyone else and myself. Sometimes people act like they care about me when it comes to that as well, when it comes to their criticisms, warnings, concerns, even concerns about me. But also, I guess what I wanted to say is, what if we looked at social media, people being on social media, if someone has like a YouTube channel or writes something on Facebook or something, what if we looked at it differently? Like, for instance, I'm not saying let's not take it seriously. Let's not take it seriously at all. But at the same time, I've noticed, I'm not sure if this is true for anyone else at all, or how many people even have experience with this, but if you go into a court case of any kind, I've noticed that there was a idea that if I had a social media presence, there would be something that would show up about it in the evidence. It was almost like, I asked my attorney, is there like a multimedia kind of like we want to have like a basis, like people want to like share like one thing at least, multimedia, like to the judge. Because I noticed that the other side was using something from my YouTube that I was like, why would they share this? This isn't like anything to do with the case. It's almost like they just want to share it just to have like this checkbox next to multimedia. So I asked my attorney, should we be having multimedia as well? Like, because I can probably produce something. It's just, yeah. So, I wasn't sure if it was just because, it's going to look bad no matter what, if I've got something on social media, especially like this YouTube video. Ooh, goody, goody, goody. This is like dirt that, is of a multimedia type of dirt on me. I'm not sure, because it didn't get used. Thank goodness. It was just sort of there, like being presented, like maybe to intimidate us. I'm not sure, because I looked at the stuff and I was like, this isn't gonna make me look bad. None of this stuff makes me look bad. Maybe I'm deluded, maybe I'm delusional. But what if we looked at stuff on social media that people share about themselves when they go to court and are like, this is personal, this is kind of like sharing their diary or their journal. Yeah, we could do it, but why? Let's sort of like object to why we would do it. Okay, yeah, we want to take it seriously, but it's this person's opinion. So why would we be threatened by this person's opinion and them saying it out here like this? Because it really is just this one person's opinion, and what they say has a limited, that's what I would say, is like it has a limited value. Okay, so what I say has a limited value. I would really prefer if it were looked at that way, if what I'm saying on this YouTube channel had limited value, because in fact, most people I know do not have the nerve to put their faces and their voices here on YouTube or any other social media. Nothing against it, because neither would I. I mean, that's why I'm doing it, is because this is a huge step for me in my progression of life, to be able to speak in front of people and do it in this way, instead of like having to stand in front of a huge room of people with the way that is. I mean, the weight of that. Okay, so no, I haven't done that. I'm not doing that. I hope someday I can, but this is a way for me to practice in a different way. So I would say that it should be put in perspective. People that have a social media presence at all should have, I'm not going to say privacy. I think it should be more like it should be put into perspective and not necessarily used against them. So I have a YouTube channel. So someone that I go to court with may or may not, most likely won't, by like, just like by the statistics, probably won't have a YouTube channel. So what? Like, why even do we have to show anything from someone's YouTube channel when we take them to court? If we have like a custody dispute or a divorce or something like that, like, why would we need to go there? Okay, because usually if it's something about the like a family law thing, why would it show up on social media? Why would they publish something that was like a domestic dispute or something? It's probably going to be like whatever the person decided to publish, which probably is what they decided to publish, not some like random footage that you find like, ooh, this has to do with the situation that you're trying to talk about here. No. So really what I'm saying is, why are we making people look bad because they have a YouTube channel or because they say something on social media? Okay? It's almost like it's not contrived, but it kind of is contrived. Whatever we choose as one person, because I don't necessarily have a whole production team here. It's just me. I'm deciding what to put. It's not like a high bar. I'm just deciding based on what I want to put on and how much time I want to put into editing. So why are we taking it seriously in the way of using it against someone and judging them when they're really just expressing themselves like freedom of speech in a different way? I'm not going out and like doing a march, although I could be. Living in Portland, Oregon, there's like lots of marches here, lots of people doing activist stuff. But I'm a little bit, I get overstimulated by things like that. So I try not to, like, more than I want to. So yeah, so this is like part of my freedom of speech, part of my expression. But why should it be used against me? Because it seems like because I am here on a YouTube channel, I will actually most likely have this used against me if I ever go to court against anyone. And that's my experience. That's my actual experience. It's not like what I think it should be like. I think that people should probably put it in perspective of, this is one person saying some things, and like, why are you putting this in front of us? That's what I was hoping the judge would say when she saw some social media video on the evidence list. I thought she was going to say, why the F are you putting this in front of me? What does this have to do with? But of course, she won't know until she watches it. So that's what they were planning on. They wanted to intimidate me too by, having this on the evidence list and being like, oh my goodness, they know that I'm on YouTube. Oh, I knew that they knew. Yeah, probably won't be able to publish this. You guys, people have been really supportive of me, and I really appreciate it. I don't have people in my personal life who are altogether understanding about this. Not to badmouth people in my social circle at all. I don't want to. I'm in a period of growth right now, and they are too. So I'm not saying anything about them in particular, people I know, but I am saying myself, I am in a period of to have the nerve to put myself on here, put my face on here, my voice on here. It shouldn't be a big deal, but it seems to be a big deal, so I'm going to respect it as a big deal. But I would like to say I don't think it should be such a big deal, because it's really, like I said before, one person's voice, mine, just happened to have the nerve to put my face on here, and really that's it. That's all. I just happen to have the nerve to put my face on here and also have something to say. But I'm only one person out of millions in the United States of America. So take care, you all. Thanks for watching. Those of you who watch an entire video, God bless you. Gods bless you. Whatever gods you believe in, because sometimes they're long. And to just like listen to a little bit or watch the title and look at the little bit of the introduction part, that's about all I would get through. So thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing if you subscribe, and thank you for the thumbs up if you do, and also thank you for the thumbs down if you do as well, because either way you weighed in. And also, hey, big one here, thank you for the comments. If you comment, even if you don't say thumbs up or thumbs down, if you comment, that's very cool. I really appreciate it. I love the comments. I love them, even if they're negative, for the most part. Yeah. All right. Take care, you guys. Take care. Happy May, because it's May 1st tomorrow, and already for some of you, because it's almost midnight. Well, a little bit before 11 here on the West Coast. So it's May 1st for a lot of people already. And when you're watching this, who knows? Maybe it'll be after 2017, but right now it's almost May 1st, 2017. And I'm so happy to be here. All right, take care. Bye-bye.